So if you've been watching my live streams, you've noticed that I've been playing a good amount of Cold War today, and I wanted to give you guys my first impressions after a fairly long 2.5 hour play session. When the influencers and content creators got to play the alpha a couple weeks ago, they played for about 2 hours and they gave their opinion, so I thought I would do the same. Maybe it was longer than that, who knows. Either way, without a script or anything, I'm just gonna go off of how I felt while playing Cold War today. And the first thing to mention is that I am bad on PlayStation. I am an Xbox player or a PC player. I am pretty confident with an Xbox controller or a keyboard and mouse. I am not good at playing shooters with a PlayStation controller. So go easy on me a little bit when you watch my aim go everywhere. It's sort of hard to adjust to a new Call of Duty game for the first time, and I'm playing on a platform that I never play FPS games on. The closest I get to shooting when it comes to the PS4 is my bow and arrow in Ghost of Tsushima or my web shooters in Spider-Man, so please go easy on me. But overall, how does the game feel and look? When it comes to feel, it's very intuitive, it's very snappy, it's pretty smooth. It clearly has some little bugs to work out, some little performance issues that, you can tell it's not running on all cylinders, especially since I feel like it's definitely going to be designed to run better on Series X and PS5 and higher end PCs. But on a PS4 Pro, it was running okay. It was loading about as I would expect. Nothing stood out to me as a big glaring issue in that regard. But then when you come to the graphics, they are dated. And I'm not talking about the actual game assets, I'm talking about the resolution. On PS4 Pro, which during this alpha is the highest res place you can play Cold War, it doesn't look very good. It kind of reminds me of playing Call of Duty Ghosts in some ways on the Xbox One. It almost feels 720p. I know it's not, but on the 12v12 maps, it kind of looks like it's 720p out in the distance. Like right in front of you, it looks like a full HD experience, and then past that, it loses all of its resolution. So not a very easy to appreciate game in terms of graphics, but I can tell there is a good set of assets there. This game on a PS5 or Series X will look miles better, and during the beta, I'm going to be testing it out on the Xbox One X, so we'll have to see how it looks there, and I can let you guys know. But on a PS4 Pro, I will tell you it is pretty blurry. The 6v6 maps look better than the 12v12, but both are blurry. Now, motion blur was turning itself back on, and I was trying to keep up on it, but I might have forgotten in a match or two, but that also might mean that motion blur might not be too bad, because usually I can tell right off the bat. But even still, if I'm holding completely still with a sniper rifle and I'm looking down a line of sight and it's blurry, that's not motion blur, that's just the game being blurry. But if you're worried about it not feeling like COD or feeling clunky, don't worry about that. It is a very smooth experience. I will say, sometimes going in and out of a slide felt a little weird to me, and sometimes proning and standing back up felt a little weird, like there was a little bit of a hitch in the animation. Also, throwing some of the lethals and tacticals also felt like there's a little bit of a hitch in the animation, like there was some unused frames, and so they'll have to probably tweak that. Again, this is an alpha build. This is their best running early version of the game. It's not what we're going to see in 2 months, I hope. So let's talk maps. I enjoyed what I played of Miami. I enjoyed what I played of Communist Map. I didn't really enjoy Satellite. Now, I was watching Exclusive Ace stream it just a couple seconds ago, and he was saying that the method to the madness for Satellite is learning when to go high and when to go low. But I had a lot of trouble reading flow on that map, and maybe it'll end up being one of my favorites. I mean, it's always hard to tell. Some of my favorite Modern Warfare beta maps ended up being my least favorite when the game actually came out, so we'll have to see how it plays out in the end. But I'm going into a new COD, so there's going to be some growing pains. So Satellite's my least favorite map. My most favorite experiences have been probably Miami and Armada. Armada is super fun. It's a super gimmicky map, don't get me wrong. It's got jet skis and zip lines and boats. It's super gimmicky, but also super fun. I really like the way it feels. I like going from ziplining to having long-range sniper duels to close-range interior fights to underwater fights to riding on a jet ski to riding on a... It's fun. It's so good. This was the idea I had for a map. I wanted boats out in the water connected by zip lines with jet skis and Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4 level swimming mechanics, and it works like that. It's so much fun. So Armada gets like a 10 out of 10 for me. Is it perfectly balanced? No, but that's what happens when you get creative with maps. They're not going to be perfectly balanced, but this is unique and fun. One of the things I have to say about the game that I like so far is the maps have variety. Satellite, Miami, Communist Map, Armada, and Winter Snowy Map. They don't play the same. Call of Duty is a more simple shooter, but I didn't have that feeling of like repetitiveness in this alpha. So maybe later down the line, other maps will start to resemble each other, but as for this alpha, this is a nice variety of experiences. I really enjoyed myself. And 12v12 is a great number of players. Now I'm sure they might do some game modes later on, or maybe they do like 20v20 on these maps to create clusterfucky playlists just for fun. They could do that, whatever, go for it. But I actually like the way 12v12 feels for maps like Armada and Snowy Map. And you can tell that I didn't remember the name of Communist Map and Snowy Map. As for weapon balance and skill-based matchmaking, stop fucking asking people about that. Yeah, first impressions are important and we should give our feedback. We can't just ignore things because they're new. But I'm sorry, it's so new. People were asking me, what's your favorite gun when I had played like 5 matches? Or is there skill-based matchmaking? People are asking exclusive ace and people are putting polls on Twitter. Is there skill-based matchmaking? Fuck if I know. We're not gonna know, okay? Yes, some guns feel easier than others, but also people are still learning the game. The one thing I will say is, Treyarch, you need to nerf the shit out of the SPAS 12. I am going to be livid if this is the way that it is into the life cycle of the game, the mainline life cycle, the launch of the game. I am gonna be pretty fucking mad. This thing is way too easy to use. I suck with a PlayStation controller. I am still learning how to play the game, but this shotgun is too damn good. Having shotguns as secondaries with a gunsmith system is dangerous, and you make the shotgun this powerful, you guys need to tweak it. You just do. But that's my only impression I have so far, and I'm confident in making that assertion because on launch night of Modern Warfare, I called that shotguns were gonna need a nerf, and the 725 ended up ruling the game for 2 months after that, maybe even longer. It's still being used. So I know when it comes to shotguns, they're very binary. If they slap up close, then they're probably gonna need some sort of a nerf because they're doing their job too well. Shotguns are impossible to balance, that's why they shouldn't be secondaries and they shouldn't have 5 attachments. In later videos I can talk about field upgrades and perks and whatnot, but I'll have you know right now that the created class felt good, I enjoyed making my class, but everything sort of right now is blending in the background for me. I mostly just care about winning my gunfights and seeing where the limits of the game are. So this is not a breakdown of every perk and field upgrade in the game. I will say though, I love the design decision to have bouncing petties be field upgrades, so people aren't just tossing them behind them all the time. Also, I really like how slow the C4 is because I am so sick of getting airbursted by C4s in Call of Duty games. So please keep it this slow, Treyarch, so that people actually have to have a gunfight, and then nerf the shotgun so that in close range people actually have to have a gunfight. I will say I had some issues with hit detection, but I also had a moderate NAT, so I wasn't getting paired probably with the best connection people. I'm gonna be fixing that before my next live stream, my next play session, so I'll update that when I do my final review of the alpha. But I will say right now, there have been a couple moments where, and I saw this in Black Ops 4 as well, where I'm alive on my screen and they're alive, I'm firing, but the game has clearly already registered me as dead. The game kind of hitches and then I'm on the ground. So that's sort of a bug that was in Black Ops 4 where you'd be alive, they'd be alive, the game would kind of freeze and then you'd be dead. So hopefully that gets fixed. I don't like that I'm seeing an issue from Black Ops 4 in here, but that could just be because of my connection because I'm on a moderate NAT type and obviously it's an alpha and servers aren't going to be perfect. But most importantly, how does Gunplay feel? Gunplay actually has me a little nervous. So although I enjoy the concept of a long time to kill to the body, or I should say longer, it's not that long. It's like 1 extra shot to kill compared to other COD games. But okay, that's fine. But then you add the high headshot multiplier. So then, okay, so it rewards headshots. What this creates is a very inconsistent time to die experience that I noticed in my play session. Occasionally I'd take hits and be able to move, and other times I'd get framed like I'm playing Modern Warfare's hardcore mode. Again, that could be alpha server issues, that could be phone. Again, that could be alpha server issues or my connection, but it just sort of feels wrong. The time to die does not work for me at the moment. And yes, I'm playing on Ethernet, so don't ask me about that. So a couple little things to mention. I really hope they add linear as a controller option because I really like the way linear input feels. I also like the precision aim assist in Modern Warfare because it doesn't have a lot of rotation, if any at all, and it just slows down once you aim on the target. I wouldn't mind if they weaken that a little bit for Modern Warfare, maybe by like 10% or so, but I really don't like heavy aim assist rotation in close quarters, so I don't want to play with either annoying aim assist or no aim assist, so I really hope they add precision and linear as options. Also, there's no FOV slider, and there is no fucking reason that 2 consoles that can ray trace won't be able to run an FOV slider, So hopefully the Series X and PS5 versions have FOV sliders. I know some things are coming later, like weapon inspections and assassinations, so this is not obviously the final product, but like a snippet of it. It's not a demo, okay? It really is an incomplete product here. But I will say it does have me a wee bit concerned. And I've saved my biggest rant for last. I do not like the score streak system. Yes, part of me likes that I feel like I should be optimizing my score and not my survivability. You know, more so I just need to be a productive player on my team. What I don't like is that after I get an attack chopper or an airstrike or whatever, the cooldown state makes it feel like I'm not supposed to get 2 streaks in a match of kill confirmed. Now maybe in a match of Dom or Hardpoint I'll be able to, but in just kill confirmed or just team deathmatch, I feel like it's going to be really, really annoying to maximize score in those environments. Now obviously you could just go on a long kill streak, and that's totally possible. The longer time to kill should theoretically help you survive longer, less bullshitty deaths, but that's where that headshot multiplier comes in and creates this inconsistent experience where one gunfight you get hit 3 times and don't die, the next gunfight it feels like you get hit once and you do die. Anyway, that's gonna be kind of frustrating. If I can't go on long streaks, then I really can't get my streaks, which is good on the one hand, but it's also like, the system would motivate me more if after I called in my streak, there wasn't just a minute and a half of no streak earning time. Like, again, once you call in the streak, it's not that you can't call it in again, you can't even earn score towards it. So if you call in all your streaks, you are left with nothing. You're working towards nothing. Captured a flag, killed 15 people, doesn't matter. You don't get the score. When just looking at the game in terms of going for a streak, you can just throw your life away once you've called in your streaks because there's gonna be a minute and a half where nothing you do really matters or will stack. So there's no real point in optimizing your score after you've called in your score streaks. Again, that's kind of horseshit to me, and I'm not a huge fan of it. A minute and a half isn't the longest time, but in Call of Duty, it's a considerable amount of time. So that's my big complaint right now, is that I got an attack chopper during one of my gameplays. I was like, cool, it didn't get any kills. And then as I start doing a little bit better after I called it in, then I just wasn't working towards it. And then I died, and then it was off cooldown, and then the match was about to end. And I was like, okay, how proficient do I need to be? How consistent do I need to be? If I have to be this consistent all the time, just cut all of this persisting after death bullshit and just bring back traditional score streaks. Better yet, have score streaks, support score streaks, and specialist score streaks. I don't know. To me, this system has holes, and I feel like I've already found a couple, but I don't want to be overly biased, so I'm gonna have to see how I feel after the alpha is over on the 20th. Anyway, stay tuned for videos. I'm gonna try to get 2 videos done a day for the next couple of days here and just upload as much stuff as possible, record a ton of gameplay. I plan on live streaming later tonight at the time that you're watching this. I am going full bore, kids. I am gonna run myself ragged this weekend for you guys, and then after this weekend, I'm gonna get some Super Mario All-Stars going on Boom's backlog, and we'll play Mario 64 and Sunshine and Galaxy, and we'll goof around on stream. It'll be a ton of fun. Either way, I'll see you when I see you guys. Goodbye.